Highway 61 follows the Mississippi River from New Orleans high up into the north of the country. In the Deep South, slavery, segregation, and the civil rights movement have shaped the land and the people. The way of life found expression in music, the blues. In Louisiana, the French-speaking Cajuns have a variation on the blues.
We're the only place in Louisiana that opens at 7:30 in the morning and has live Cajun music at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Come on, gather around, everybody, gather around. Welcome to Mamou.
This is boudin and crackers. It's like a pork skin. And you're in Cajun country, so you eat Cajun food. Breakfast, dinner, or supper.
I don't allow any kissing, lip kissing. It goes further if you get to lip kissing. My name is Sue Vasseur. They call me Tante Sue de Mamou. We're in Mamou, Louisiana. 70554 is our zip code.
I'm Alex Fano. I'm also a bartender here at Fred's Lounge.
I've been here 64 years, and I'm 81 years old and still going strong.
Tonsu is Tonsu. Who can compete with that? Mamou's the Cajun music capital of the world. There's nowhere else you'll go that you'll find so much Cajun music around.
Fred's Lounge closes at 2 in the afternoon. People go across the street and continue dancing in the Hotel Kazan.
We had what they call the strip queue. We had 5 bars on this side of the street. We had 3 on the other side of the street. Open every day of the week. The economy is very, very bad, like it is all over, but Mamou is bad because most of our people here are senior citizens. Most of our young people are offshore. We have a few people on rice farmers, crawfish farmers. That's the only industry we have here in our small town. We open every Saturday of the year. Regardless if it's Christmas or New Year's, we're open.
In the past, Louisiana's plantation system depended on black slaves working the sugarcane fields.
There's a lot of cowboys in Louisiana.
Black farm owners are still rare.
My name is Gino Delafosse. This is my brother, Dimitri, who helps me out on the farm, and we do all kind of other things together also.
He's the big brother. I'm the little brother.
I'm the only one in my family that had this many cows. That's a donkey. They keep the coyotes out. Well, he's crazy. He makes me some trouble. Very white. I don't want her to go forward. Just give a little bit of slang. A little bit of slang. Almost lost. That was 30 then. I try to keep ropes out of my hands because I need those fingers to play my accordion, so I kind of keep them ropes out of my hand as much as I can. We have to play music.
The route leads from the prairie of Louisiana to the biggest swamp in the United States, the Atchafalaya Basin, a Native American word for long river. For more than 200 years, it's been home to the Cajuns, descendants of the Acadians, French-speaking settlers that were forced out of Nova Scotia in Canada by the British in 1755.
If you give a Cajun a little bit of something that floats and a few building materials, by God, he's fixing to make him a houseboat.
Most of the traditional Cajuns that moved in this area back in the early 1700s lived only on houseboats or houses built way up on stilts. My name is David Alamo, and I am the owner of McGee's Landing right here in the middle of the Atchafalaya Basin.
Well, my name is John Mount, I'm a swamp tour captain.
I am 2/4 Cajun and 2/4 French.
On my mother's side is where the Cajun comes from. They were called the French Plains Acadians. They're the ones that were the farmers.
Prairie Cajuns.
Prairie.
No doubt swamp Cajun. The first original Acadians were originally thinking they were coming up the Mississippi River going to New Orleans, but they completely missed the mouth of the Mississippi. They were out here amongst the Indians for a long time, and they kind of took them under their wing and showed them how to live off the land. But this is pretty much where they originally settled as Cajuns before spread out into the plains and the higher grounds to where they could protect themselves from hurricanes, like something that's fixing to come now. Cajun culture is now becoming a phenomenon. People are really interested in knowing what it's all about and how it preserved for all these years. We still speak the same old French dialect that has not been spoken in Europe for over 300 years. On parle franglais aussi. On mêle le langage anglais, English, avec la langue française.
The hurricane to us Cajuns is an everyday occurrence almost. They come every year.
We've had a lot of practice, I can tell you that, through the years.
Absolutely.
I've rebuilt that building, McGee's Landing, completely twice. We take it like we have to. We take it like men.
These levees were built after one of the biggest Mississippi floods in 1927, which cost hundreds of lives. A couple of years later, Henderson was founded.
This hat right here, it's for real. Sometimes I've got ready to come and play a dance and walk outside and I had a cow having a calf. Put my work clothes back on, get down there and help her have that calf, make sure it's nursed, put my clothes back on, and come play my dance. I'm a Zydeco and Cajun musician. I'm actually what they call Creole. I'm black, so I'm an Afro-American, born in Cajun country, and I speak Creole. So I'm a little bit of everything. I'm a gumbo. We work hard during the week, play hard on the weekend. Cajun music takes more influence from country and western. Zydeco music, on the other hand, takes more influence from the blues side of things. When I was a young boy playing in my dad's band, anytime we played a dance in some of the Zydeco clubs, if we saw a white person come in that club, we knew that they weren't from Louisiana. The funny thing about me, although I'm a black Zydeco band, 98% of my audience is white.
From the swamps of Louisiana, Route 61 runs north, passing grand plantation homes, symbols of the Old South.
Tomorrow there will be a lot of wind and rain. The hurricanes are coming in much farther inland than they used to and much stronger because we've had such a deterioration along the coast. My name is Ann Butler, and this is Butler Greenwood Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana. This is kind of a little island of Anglo culture in the midst of a sea of French and Creole. My family came in the 1770s, and they grew cotton. The big Greek revival houses, those were the second and third generation houses. The early plantations were like this one, very simple, very unpretentious. That is not Scarlett O'Hara. This is kind of an unusual property because it's still in the original family and still a full-time family home. After living on the East Coast and the West Coast and working as a writer, in 1970, after my grandmother died, that's when I moved into the house here. These are pictures of her when she was young. We do tours every day for people from around the world. We have a lot of black visitors here. We certainly don't glorify slavery or even excuse it, but it's a fact. I think on this property, there were never more than about 100 people living. After the Civil War, the descendants of the slaves stayed on here. This was their home.
They were free but had nothing. Many could not read and not write. When the Civil War broke out between the North and the South, there were more than 4 million slaves. The fighting lasted 4 years and more than 600,000 Americans died. In 1865, the South surrendered. Slavery was over, and many plantations were burned to the ground. In the suffering of the African slaves lie the roots of the blues. From the sugarcane and cotton fields in the South, the music traveled north on Highway 61, the Blues Highway.
My name is Luther Brown. I'm not from the Delta, but I came here to develop the Delta Center for Culture and Learning, which has the mission of promoting the heritage of the Mississippi Delta. The Mississippi Delta has played a very important role in American history, but that role is largely associated with other places instead of its rightful home, the Mississippi Delta. So many people think the blues came from Chicago, for instance, or they associate civil rights actions with Birmingham or Atlanta, not the Mississippi Delta.
Hey, I work. My name is Bishop C.L. Sparks, and I worked with Jesse Jackson for 22 years. And Reverend used to always come into our meetings and ask me, what's going on in the Mississippi Delta with this blues stuff going on? So I would come back because my mother was sick, and I would see Luther doing stuff, and I didn't know what he was doing. He brought those people back to their roots and tried to make this a metropolis of the blues.
Because of Luther Brown's initiative, more than 150 blues trail markers have been put up to highlight places and people important to the blues. The Civil War put an end to slavery, but not to the cotton fields. Many of the former slaves continued on the plantations as field hands. They were free according to the law, but they had to pay most of what they made as rent for the shacks, provided as housing in the middle of the cotton fields. Homes turned into illegal bars, so-called juke joints. Here, the blues was born.
I'm interested in blues. The blues.
Yeah. So we're tracing the blues. That guy told us yesterday or the day before, he said very often he's here.
Yeah. Real name Willie Seabear, everybody call me Po Monkey. Juke at night and drive tractors in the daytime. I've been around here all of my life, chopping cotton, picking cotton. I started this here when I was 16 years old. So now I'm 72 years old. Well, it's a juke joint. Last juke joint it is around here. I live in the back. I got a room back in the back. People from all over the world come in. Everybody come out here and really enjoy themselves. Well, the only thing we play the blues. No rap music, period. Blues only.
Me and Paul Monkey been friends about 33 years now. We best friends. But Monkey's a great place to be. My name's Larry Grimes. I've been here for 40-something years now. I moved these houses here. This here was a cotton field. I mixed up art. This here is a space alien. This is a space alien playing the guitar, blue space alien. And she's a nurse. She got everything she needs to be a nurse, thermometer and everything on her. This is a Vietnam soldier here. Made out of 2 car jacks and a real .22 rifle. He got that sad look on his face, eh? I believe in the American flag. I turned 19 in Vietnam. And my job was, we didn't run the whole plane back. We took the guns off of it, the radios, the radar, and we'd burn them up, blow them up, keep the Vietnamese from getting them. It was like a junkyard. And my orders not to throw away nothing we can use. And now it's a habit I got for keeping stuff, because you might need it one day. Hey, like this, 12-string guitar. See, it got 12 tunes on it. I can't sing. I don't dance. The blues, people just get happy. You got to have something to make people feel something in your heart. Highway 61, they say where the blues was born. Every town you go to, they got a sign that says the blues was born. The blues was born everywhere.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
If you really want to find where real music came from, it ran up Highway 61. The contributors of it are still right here.
My name is Herman Johnson, and this is my son.
I'm Darrell Johnson. I'm a pastor here in Mound Bayou, Mississippi.
Mound Bayou is the oldest and largest all-black city in America. Well, one thing we need to say is we do not discriminate.
Mound Bayou was founded by former slaves. The town became a symbol of self-empowerment and freedom. The citizens built houses, schools, and in 1942, their own hospital.
Hey, now. Hey. That's why I need to stop it. My neighbor. Oh, okay. This bank actually financed a lot of the businesses that were started by blacks. Up until at one time, there were up to 60 businesses here in this town. President Theodore Roosevelt came and stopped his train here. And he looked up and down this street, and he saw the beautiful homes and how majestic they looked. And he was so amazed by the progress of blacks at that time that he called this place the jewel of the Delta at that time.
In the 50s and 60s, many civil rights leaders came to Mound Bayou, among them Martin Luther King. The civil rights movement fought to outlaw racial discrimination and to restore voting rights to black Americans in the South.
People came to Mound Bayou because they couldn't go anywhere else. Civil rights opened the door where we can go in anywhere. All of our doctors left. We had the migration to the north. Atlanta loves us, and Washington, D.C. is getting a lot of people from Mound Bayou. And what do you leave in Mound Bayou? Us. And so what the us have to do is to try to make Mound Bayou what it should be.
We want to do a monument in honor of the people who picked cotton, who worked so hard and slaved so hard, who made this country rich. Nobody has ever said thank you.
Highway 61 continues on through the Mississippi Delta. Mississippi is among the states with the highest obesity, illiteracy, and the lowest income in all of the country. One of the few towns in Mississippi that could regain some of their former cotton capital wealth is Greenwood. Because of a local who invented the Viking stove, luxury kitchen appliances are manufactured here. Greenwood has become a culinary center.
So, homemade mac and cheese. Let's start by looking at our ingredients. It's a traditional Japanese tool. It's great. You're gonna start off with your butter in a medium saucepan. Y'all ready to get started? My name is Becky Thompson. I'm the general manager and a chef instructor here at the Viking Cooking School in Greenwood, Mississippi. And this is our Viking Cooking School. We're having a hands-on class today. Nice, and butter all your edges. Make sure you get those corners. We don't want to work so hard on our biscuits and have them stick in the pan. Biscuits?
Biscuits.
You have to have biscuits if you're frying chicken. We've got some southern fried chicken here that they've made up, and we've got some beautiful homemade macaroni and cheese. All right, so next let's talk about biscuits and cornbread. Somebody babysit your chicken.
My name is Kelvin Scott. I am the front office manager for the Alluvion Hotel in Greenwood, Mississippi, part of the Mississippi Delta. The Alluvion Hotel is part of Viking Ranch Corporation. Viking has a good share of buildings in the downtown area, but we don't own every building. We're probably about 60% black, and then maybe 40% white. I'll be the first African-American Chamber of Commerce president. Greenwood, it's not segregated anymore. Don't deny that economic segregation contributes to some of the ills of society right now. Obesity, diabetes. Many of the things that we've been eating for centuries now was because it was what was left. We ate the ears of the pig. We ate the pig feet. We don't have to eat that anymore.
Hey, slow today.
Those are like those Easter eggs.
That's like a turquoise egg.
Yeah. That's one thing why I'm excited about the farmers market.
Greenwood's black neighborhood is called Baptistown.
My name is Sylvester Hoover, and this is my wife, Mary. Running from the camera, put it set it up here on this thing, let's bag it up. This is the poorest district in the United States, right here, Baptistown. The railroad track separate the blacks and the whites. If you was black, you did all your business on this side of the track. You weren't allowed to cross the track because that's where white people live and white people had businesses. We picked cotton, you know, chopped cotton, did it all. That's the hardest job you can do. We would be in the cotton field working, the older people sang the blues. They were gonna sing it from sun up to sundown, you know, because that's what made the blues. Bad circumstances, hard work. You living on hope. And this is what they would pull. They would pull this thing would weigh like 170 pounds. You're in Back in the Day museum. And we kind of put this together so people could see how we grew up and how our ancestors grew up and how places like this made the blues. Baptist town. It was like a safe haven for the blues singer. This was a club here that Robert Johnson, Honey Boy, would play every Saturday.
Robert Johnson is called the king of the Delta blues. His music inspired Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan, the Rolling Stones. Eric Clapton dedicated an entire album to him.
He sung the way he felt, and his audience felt the same way that he felt.
Oh yes, love dancing to the blues.
Everybody danced to the blues. Blues, it got a tendency, you know, bypass your brain and get directly to your heart, because you listen to blues, you know, before you know it, you'll be patting your feet. That's what blues do to you. Blues, it touches you.
The blues and gospel is the same, they just change the word around. Baby, I love you. If you knock at my door, I'm gonna open it. And then at church, we would just take that song right there and say, God, I'm knocking at your door. I'm on my bending knee. Let me in, God, you know?
Most of the time on Saturday night, they'll say honey and baby in it. And on Sunday, they'll put God and Jesus in that place. Same music, just change those two words.
Right.
It's identical, same music. This is the original place Robert Johnson buried, right here at Little Zion Church. I mean, people come out here and they leave all kinds of stuff on this stone. They leave alcohol, they leave beer, they leave love letters, they leave pictures. I lived on Money Road, about 50s, 60s, and early 70s. She had houses like 5 foot apart all the way down this road, on both sides of this road. If you was black during the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you didn't want to be on this road, because this was a mighty dangerous road. Anything you do in Greenwood, you get any kind of trouble, walk the street with a white person or something, they're gonna bring you to Money Road, and chances are you gonna get lynched. I seen a lot of things, but I wouldn't say anything. Our family wouldn't let us say anything. They wouldn't talk about it because they were afraid to talk about it. Because if they talk about it, they would be next, and they didn't want that. After civil rights, all the smart people left, and I'm not smart.
On the other side of the Mississippi River is Arkansas. Although Arkansas is not known for the blues, the oldest and most famous radio show about the blues comes from the little town of Helena.
Hi everyone, Sunshine Sunny Payne broadcasting live from the Delta Cultural Center right here in the historic downtown Helena. And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to program number 16,566 of the original King Biscuit Time program. I was 9 years old. My 3 sisters and my mother and my father, we all lived on Ohio Street, all black neighborhood. And on Sunday nights, we used to go to this church. They had the windows open, no air conditioning. And I heard some of those most beautiful music I ever heard in my life, singing. My name has been hung on me, Sonny Payne. I was born right here in 1925 in Helena, Arkansas. That's my bass there. I used to be a bass player. I don't play no more. When you can't do what you did when you were young, give it up. Right now we're gonna hear, let's do this first. Some of these young ones coming up, awesome musicians, excellent. They don't play blues. You gotta live the blues before you play it anyway.
It was necessary to tell people, hey, Elvis was born in Tupelo. My name is Nina Hoffman, and I'm hostess here at Elvis Presley birthplace in Tupelo, Mississippi. I did know Elvis. No one is allowed to film in the house, inside the house. We don't even have postcards of the inside of the house. Great. And it didn't fall with you. I have fun every day. I probably wouldn't do it if it wasn't for that thrill of meeting everybody and realizing that Elvis had such an effect on not just people from America, but people everywhere. Underwear size, sock size, everything like that. What can you say? That's the most annoying question.
Elvis left Tupelo behind. His world fame started here in Memphis, Tennessee. Musicians from the rural South took the music north on Highway 61. Memphis was the first big city on their way. In the early 1900s, Beale Street in Memphis was filled with clubs, restaurants, and shops owned by African Americans. As teenager, Elvis listened to the music of Black America here. At the other end of the city, the Grand Peabody Hotel still celebrates the faded glamour and decadence of the Old South. Every day, tourists can witness a small spectacle.
Very good. Good morning. Good morning. All righty. We have had ducks as permanent residents here at the hotel for the past 79 years. My name is Anthony Petrina. I am the duck master at the Peabody Hotel. It's a great job. I train them up here on the rooftop to march back and forth from the Duck Palace to the elevators. When you come to Memphis, you gotta go see the King, you gotta go see Elvis at Graceland, you have to go down to Beale Street, have some fun there, and of course, you gotta see the Peabody Ducks.
Many visitors come to Memphis for a very different reason. In 1968, on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel, Martin Luther King was assassinated. Today, the former motel is a museum.
One of my co-workers on one of his tours, 2 older white women asked him, if we're not supposed to call you the N-word, what are we supposed to call you? I'm Ziera Smith. I'm the lead tour guide here at the National Civil Rights Museum. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. I'm a Southerner. Sometimes they say like the South is its own country, and then it's the South, and then it's the rest of the country. Less than 50 years ago, the Voting Rights Act was passed. We've come this far in less than 50 years. So the next 50 years, where will we be then? Blues comes from people's struggles. That's where you get the blues from.
Black, white, green, yellow, purple, I don't care what color you are. We can all understand and enjoy this music.
The land shaped the music, and the music shaped the land.
Much of what is profoundly American has come from the Delta, which is often called the cradle of American culture. That's all the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Hot damn.
Late yesterday morning, I couldn't get out of bed. I felt so lonely. Felt like I was dead. Don't you know that I'm sorry?